gonna be changing these out. It's kind of a bittersweet moment. I've made a lot of cool videos and photos of these things. Gonna go ahead and move this car back in the bay. And then got a special little surprise outside. Check this thing out. Damn, we have a completely stock GT4 M4. So since I blew up the Crown Vic, this has pretty much been my daily. So I've been daily driving the Lincoln, and we're just running around doing errands today. So today's kind of a reset day. So if you haven't seen the past videos on the Bug, I've been cramming out that car in 30 days flat. I did that entire car with 3 or 4 of my good close friends that helped me on it, and I have not had a break since then. So today is the first like kind of normal day in my schedule where I can go back and basically do all of the, I guess, housekeeping stuff that I would normally do having a shop. So today I'm making some returns on stuff I bought that I didn't need with the Bug, shipping out orders for you guys, getting caught up on all that stuff, and just doing a lot of actual housekeeping stuff. So the first stop today is good old Lowe's to return some overpriced sheet metal that I bought because I was in a pinch that I didn't need. And we're gonna get back to the shop and clean everything. Oh my gosh, I've seen the comments talking about how unorganized and how messy the shop is, but you got to keep in mind when you're doing like SEMA time crunch style builds, very, very difficult to keep a shop clean in any circumstance. So you got to keep that stuff in mind. All right, guys, chores are done. Getting back to the shop, you probably notice it looks a little bit different. A little more room, a little more space. My side's still full of crap and it's a mess because we built this car in 30 days flat. So I started cleaning up a little bit here, but you can still see there's tables full of crap, stuff all over the floor. The floor is a mess. The Foxbody looks horrible. You guys keep commenting about how bad this car looks. I mean, dude, this is just sad. You know, it's I don't like seeing my own car like that. So the shelving area is cluttered. This area is cluttered. It's just a mess. We started to clean up a little bit last night, but we're gonna continue. You can see the Bug is dirty. We're gonna clean that thing. Got a bunch of cleanup to do today. Kind of reorganized because shop layout's gonna change a little bit. So actually, what ended up happening, as you can see, Martina's no longer over there. So now I got Chaz over here on this side doing his thing, where all of his detailing will be on this side, and then basically I moved into where he was. And then there's some sort of invisible line right here to where the shop floor goes. This is my half, that is Chaz's half. So Martina's moved out. We don't hate each other. We didn't get in an argument. We didn't get into a fight like a lot of you guys said. He just found another spot that's closer to him, and more room for him, more room for us, worked out. So he's down the road from us now. Gotta go check out his shop one of these days to say hi. Now there's only 2 of us in the shop. It was 3. So for anyone who says you can't have 3 guys in a shop, you can. We did it just fine and we had no issues here. Now we're down to 2. So we'll make the space work accordingly. So not sure what I want to do with this space yet. I might get rid of this wall. Haven't really decided yet. But today will be a little bit more of an organizing day and a reset day. We are gonna pull the Foxbody out and address the future plans and what we're doing with this thing coming up in the upcoming weeks. So a lot of stuff to get into, a lot of crap to clean up. I'm embarrassed to show how bad my shop looks because I like it being a studio in here, but that's the nature of building cars like this in 30 days. You make messes. We're gonna get into cleaning and organizing and hopefully make this place look a lot better. So yeah, let's get into it. So you can just see we have so much more room now that we'll have a separate bay. And if I take this wall, I can actually have a 3rd bay right here, so I can have 4 on the floor. And if I did lifts, I could have 4 just over here. So a lot more room, trying to figure out how I want to lay this space out. But either way, you can see it's an absolute disaster. I had a new workbench come in, new filing cabinet come in, another new workbench, organizing trays. All this stuff came in last minute. I had no time to actually sort and organize that stuff. So that's what we're gonna start out with. All that stuff's gonna revolve around getting the Foxbody out and get back on that car. So everything in this video is gonna be revolved around that car. So let's go ahead and get all this crap out. The one thing also, if you guys did not see, we did drop a t-shirt and a hoodie for this car, the Pony Boy t-shirt. It's not live on the website if you guys wanna check that stuff out. It's only gonna be very limited run. We're not gonna do a lot of these. So if you wanna grab it, it's on the website right now. The Pony Boy, it's got the exact same artwork that's on the door and on the back of the car. Of this car, hand drawn and done by Megan Rodriguez, who did all the artwork on this car itself. So same artist that did the artwork on the car did the art on the shirt. It's a genuine one-off art piece, only gonna be available for a limited time. Head down on speedcompany.com and grab something for yourself. It supports me in the build and it allows me to keep building cool stuff like this. So yeah. Alright guys, these are the slicks that were on my F100 when we filmed a bunch of viral videos when we first made it that NASCAR style. The only downside about these tires is they drive horrible because they're 13 inches wide, they're bias ply, and they're about 15 years old. So I'm going to be changing these out. It's kind of a bittersweet moment. I've made a lot of cool videos and photos of these things, but you probably saw in the last video with this car that when I drove the bullnose down, I actually had a bunch of tires in the back of it. So these are a 23 date coated Hoosier, a lot softer. So we're gonna be swapping on instead of these. You can see they're off-track use, so they've been used, but they do have, you know, this one's only got 3 heat cycles in it, so they're very new tires, and realistically they'll take a couple laps up and down the street, all this will come right off, and they still have plenty of life left in them. And more importantly, there's no sidewall cracking. That's the biggest thing on these versus the ones that I've got, is if you look at these guys right here, they've got a good amount of sidewall cracking going on, which is not ideal. You can see it pretty much all the way around here. So that's the part where I'm like, not good. So you can't really drive these on the street to begin with. They're pretty much only good to be trailered or just go to a car show around the corner, and that's pretty much all I ever did with them, is drive up and down the street for a video or a couple photos, and then they would come right back off. So I'm gonna see if the truck drives a little bit better with those. I would imagine it would, being they're actually rubber. So these things are like plastic. So we're gonna take these off, swap them out, bring them over to the JC next door, get these things swapped out. So bittersweet moment, but we'll see what it looks like. I've never had a Hoosier slick on it, so either way, should be pretty fun. Alright guys, the Foxbody makes it out of its corner for the first time in probably a couple months at this point. It's really only been sitting there torn apart for a little over a month. We did the 30-day build with that car, so it's been sitting for a minute, but it looks a lot worse than it is. So if you see a guy's car in a shop that looks like this, it probably hasn't been there as long as you think, but this is 1 month of me sitting in the car. But you gotta keep in mind, you know, we're working around it, we're shooting sparks at it, we're shooting dust at it. Dust gets created in this shop. That's why a lot of these cars end up looking like that. It looks like they've been sitting there for 30 years when really it's only been a couple months or a couple weeks even. So, but yeah, got the motor right here. I did end up selling the transmission for this car. I ended up selling it to a close buddy of mine with a Dominator wide body Fox. He's gonna go from an automatic to a manual. Good man, so I had to sell it to him. We're gonna take this thing and put it in storage for a little while. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it yet. A lot of guys wanted to buy it. It's not for sale. For those of you guys who are wondering, this is the motor that I did build in a 1 week for this thing for a Good Guys show. I ended up spinning a bearing just a week before the show, and I didn't have enough time to really go crazy with it. So it's got a new crank, new rods, 20 over with flat top pistons, F303 cam, 4-bar heads, GT40 upper lower. Very simple setup, but it works beautifully and it runs amazing. It's got about 4,000 miles on it, and this thing sounds crisp. It doesn't really go drop at anything either. So very, very good setup, and I do not want to get rid of it because I'm the one that built it. I know everything that's in it, and it works very well. So, but yeah, stuff like the dash, we're gonna be selling a lot of this stuff. So the flock dash setup that I did for it, we're not gonna be using this stuff anymore. We're gonna go to a carbon dash, and so we're gonna be changing a lot of that. So yeah, pretty much all the interior is gonna get gutted. So the heater core, all the box, the seats, front and rear seats, all the inner door skins, all that stuff's gonna go away. So we're gonna be selling all that stuff. So I'm gonna continue to strip that out, but you can see this corner over here hasn't seen the light of day in a couple months. You can see here's all the grinding dust that's been left over. So we're gonna sweep all that stuff up, clean it up, mop the floors, get all that stuff clean. Here's the replacement motor for the Vic that's also garbage. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, I want to clean up these shelves. So the shelves are going to get stripped, so we're going to get all that stuff situated. Okay, well, there we go. That's a little bit better. It took a little bit longer than I wanted, but I thought overall adding a little bit of containers throughout this, no matter what crap ends up in these containers, they'll always look consistent because the containers won't ever change on the outside. So I figured whatever's in these is labeled, and I can kind of go through it a little bit easier and see what's actually in them. And then this will overall, for shop organization, just be a little bit better. Now I have a little strip shelf right there to put miscellaneous tools, oil containers, catches. I have the T56 Magnum for the Foxbody down here, and a couple other pieces and bits. I'll get one more to go right here because I'm missing one. Went ahead and cleaned up this area a little bit, and I'm kind of just working my way down. So you can see the clutter over there will all be going away very, very soon. So I'm gonna kind of time lapse myself, just kind of going through this whole section, and then we can pull this car back into the bay, wrap up all this stuff, get it all put in bins and containers. A lot of this stuff is gonna go up for sale. So this guy's gonna go back into the corner. Whatever stuff is not gonna end up in this car on its final version is gonna be coming out, and it will never see this chassis again. So glass comes out, fuel system comes out, and the rest of the interior comes out. Putting it all in my truck, taking it outside of the shop so I can deal with it elsewhere, get a lot of this stuff for sale, and get this stuff out of here because we don't really need it. We're going more towards the line of a full tube chassis race car. So I'm gonna get this thing pulled in here. I'm gonna give you guys a full rundown of what we're gonna be doing in 2024 with the Foxbody and where we are going in the next couple weeks with it. So I'm gonna get cleaning because we've got a lot to keep doing. All right, guys, got this area a little more cleaned up. Looks pretty good. I went ahead and started another project already, so it's already getting messy again, but that's what the shop's for. So, gonna go ahead and move this car back in the bay, and then got a special little surprise outside. Check this thing out. Damn. We have a completely stock GT4 M4. What's up, buddy?
What's up, big guy? I was just telling Franklin, dude, these buckets, dude, you look like such a freaking boner when you're out in the parking lot trying to finagle them behind the wheel.
Oh, yeah, I bet, yeah. It's got,
and then it gets stuck, and it's, yeah, you look like a complete fool.
Cool, but man, dude, that trailer, you don't even need any ramps.
Check it out, dude, I can raise it from here.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
no way. What? This man's got the robotic trailer over here. What? Ah, this is just straight up flexing on me here. Like, I mean, come on. Hey, look at that. Bro, what? It's literally raising. We suck. Yeah. She's got a Raptor with a lowering trailer. So yeah, we now have a M4 GT4 in the shop. All right, well, that's a change up. I guess a little bit different. You guys have never seen me even with a BMW before, but here we are. This is JCD's M4 GT4. You actually race this car, or did you just own it?
Yeah, no, my first GT4 win was in that car at New York on the last lap. Just outside the bus stop, went around the outside into the carousel to win it. It was pretty rad, so that was a special car.
Yeah, that's sick.
We refer to this one as 53. We had 3 of them, and this was actually the fastest of the 3F chassis that we had.
Yeah, and I think it's in the inside the door. It shows the GT4, huh?
Yeah, right there. There's the
carbon inner
cage.
Doors.
And then right there. Yeah, I think this is actually one of the most expensive parts on the car is the door.
Yeah, you're saying that. Yeah, so no door dings. Don't drive into. If you really want to mess somebody up, you just drive into the door. They'll be real mad.
Really mad. Check out the hammock seat. That was definitely one of my favorite features. When I was driving in the Porsches, they were so hot.
Yeah.
And the BMW is awesome. It's super cool inside.
That is wild. And that is considered a stock seat.
Yep, that's the one it comes with. Well, I think it was part of one of the Evo updates that they did. Actually.
Yeah. Damn, Frank, you think you can fit in this thing?
Don't know until you try.
Just go in the microwave.
That's your food, not mine. It's not beeping.
Oh yeah, it is mine. I think we should try to squeeze Frank in here. That'd be fun.
The pedal box moves, not the seat, so it'll be interesting.
You should sit in it.
Get it? What?
Frank can sit in it.
That is tight.
It's just tight for sure.
Alright, you have to do it under 10 seconds. But for your fire test, you have to be able to get out with under
10 seconds. That's
tight. He's really planning every single movement. He's like, okay, left leg or right leg first?
The pedals move, not the seat, so if you need more room, they'll push out pretty far.
He's all like squeezing his hands.
The handle's
like,
right here.
Trying to figure out, he's like, where am I gonna go?
It's like a little fucking fly.
Yeah.
Just run it.
Mike Concho hips into it.
Mike Concho hips. Nice, you should be good at this.
I should. It's just a lot tighter.
You just don't have 3
Just
people
a lot
watching.
Just a lot tighter.
Just a lot tighter.
Just a lot tighter, so it has to go here.
Oh, look at this.
Frank.
Oh, yeah, dude, you got it. Look at that.
Clutch, man.
Okay, I just don't fit in the seat.
I was gonna say, it does not fit in the seat. There's like a straight up gap behind you. I can see it.
Yeah, that's pretty. I got it.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll smash your knee on the door, but yeah. Look at that. Okay. Igloo Frank.
Snug, just
Spaceship
like
Frank.
a glove, dude.
Yeah, look at that. I can see your knee above the door. Oh my god, you can see his knees from the windshield. Why can I see your knees through the windshield?
You need to get him like a little car seat like that on the back of the Lincoln with like a little steering wheel so you can do that on the back. Strap it to the
little
bar.
like the shopping carts with the little steering wheel. Yeah, just so you can play.
It's fucking built for him, dude.
I just gotta get a little bit wider seat.
A little wider seat.
A little wider.
Do they come with wide boy seats in the factory?
Yeah, that's the narrow
You
seat.
remind me of the kid that's like on
Got
like the
them thick
little
hips.
like.
That's
You got some thick hips. We got a boy with thick
carousel
hips in
right
here.
now.
That's without all the pads. I think that seat's for like 165-pound dude.
Oh yeah, you're.
Yeah, I'm a little bit bigger than that.
Okay, now get out.
10 seconds.
10 seconds to get out?
Ready, set,
Wait.
go. Fire's
hold
going
on.
wait. Fire's going wait.
Yeah, he pulls over in the pit. He's like, wait. I
What
gotta
are you
figure this
waiting
out.
for? What's in the
Well, I haven't done this before.
Alright, well fire's not
I just gotta see where I can like.
Getting in's easy because gravity helps.
I know. I was gonna
Exactly.
say. Now he's like, oh, yeah. Don't pull the fire thing.
Should we time it?
Yeah. So from here, 10 seconds out.
Okay, one.
Ready,
Ah, yeah, really?
set.
No.
Ready, set, go, Frank, go!
Oh.
Yeah, Frank! Fucking yeah, Frank! You passed the fire test.
Actually, that's pretty quick.
That wasn't bad. We'll take it.
I had lost a shoe too in the way. We're
Oh,
good.
no way. You died by 16 seconds.
Oh,
That's alright.
you died. You're dead. But yeah, I guess really the big reason it's here is you're getting some garage upgrades.
Yep, some new epoxy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Craig.
We desperately need the same thing.
Thank you for giving her a home for the week.
Yeah, so I'm babysitting his baby. So yeah, I'm hanging on to this thing for a little while he gets his garage and shop stuff figured out.
Watch my factory race car real quick.
Yeah, no big deal. Easy. It's all right. It's parked next to the Wish.com version over there. No, that's...
McDonald's drive-through videos coming soon.
Dude, yes. Dude, I would love to make a video. Actually, yeah, that'd be a good... I'm actually curious because you guys have a lot of good ideas. Let me know in the comments if you guys wanted to see some sort of a cool video with this car that we could film. Let me know what you guys want to see. We'll try to make it happen. JCD has a rad YouTube channel of all the stuff where he actually races these cars, and he is a factory Lamborghini Super Trofeo driver. So if you guys want to see any of the cool stuff on his race team, his race programs, so the cars, and all the behind the scenes of him actually racing in the real GT4 series, check out his videos. I'll put it up on the screen. You don't want to miss that stuff. All right, guys, next day we got the shop pretty much as clean as I think it's gonna get, or it needs to be, at least as of right now. Got JCD's car hanging out. Looks freaking rad over here. It's totally weird. I don't know if you guys would ever watch BMW stuff, but if there was any interest, let me know, because I have so many attributes and so many friends with BMW chassis cars, E9X, E4X, and M4, M4s, race cars, all that good stuff. So lots of my friends are BMW guys. I'm not necessarily, but I do have a good soft spot for some of the E90s and some of the E46s, and even E30s and stuff like that. But regardless, let me know if you guys want to see that, but I know this is a classic car channel. So anyways, going into this. So this came out pretty good, pretty stoked with the way the shop's coming out. It's a little bit more, organized. Everything has a spot. It's a lot cleaner. I want that studio vibe when you see everything in here. So everything has a spot. Everything's for the most part clean, laid out. And I think over the last year, I've given myself a nice, cool, kind of homey workspace, which is pretty rad. I'm pretty excited about it. I like it a lot. So diving into this car, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this thing forward. Got a bunch of crap inside that's not gonna be needed anymore. We're gonna get this thing up in the air. I wanna get the fuel tank out of it. That's gonna be the biggest thing in this video. I really wanna get out of it. It's pretty much get the rest of the fuel system, the plumbing out of it, because there's no reason to have it. And if we're welding, we have a fire hazard if we have open fuel lines. So gonna get this thing up in the air, get the wheels off it, gonna get the tank out of it so I can get some gas in some of my other cars because I think it has a full tank. And overall just kind of start working on this thing. I want to get the glass out of it too. That's a big thing as well. So kind of more tear down, but I do need to get rid of these seats. So if anyone needs these seats, I'm gonna be getting rid of those, as well as the heater box and the rest of the interior inside this thing. So yeah, up in the air you go, buddy.
I've been trying hard to keep my cool, but when you're near, there's nothing that I can do. When you're walking in, I know it's true. It doesn't even matter how hard I try, 'cause when I hear your voice, my walls come down. Boy, you are the only thing I want. I like the joy.
Alright guys, all of these stock fuel lines are out. Car is still up in the air. Everything underneath the car is pretty much wrapped up. I don't really need to be underneath it anymore. I would pull the exhaust out, but I can't get the exhaust out without pulling the axle of the car out. So there's no really point in doing that. And everything else is pretty much at a standstill until I get the car on a frame table. So you've heard me talk about it a bunch. And why are we actually stalled out on this project? Well, I'll tell you. Alright, so what is going on with this car? Why have I not worked on it? Why have you guys not seen updates? Well, believe it or not, as you probably imagine, the bug took up the entire month of January. I did nothing but work on that car. I built that entire car in 30 days with the help of a bunch of my good friends. So that entire build, 1 month build, didn't touch a single other car in that entire month to get that car done. If you haven't grabbed the Ponyboy collection that we did drop on the website, very limited run, we have that stuff on the website right now for you guys to support me in the builds, and it's exclusive to that car. So if you like the bug and the bug build, and so if you're as stoked on the bug build as I was, definitely go grab that merchandise because it's not going to last very long. And the artwork's done by the same artist that did the artwork on the car, Megan Rodriguez, my very good friend. So support me in the builds, it really mean a lot to me. But with this car has to go on a frame table. I've said that a couple times before. You're probably wondering why. Well, fortunately, this car has one heck of a rough life before I even owned it. I don't know how many owners this car's had, but this thing's a little tweaked. She's not really that straight. And you can probably see this frame horn is good, but the other one, not so much. You can see it's a little bit tweaked out in the corner, it's a little smashed up. Probably seen those little bits and pieces. I've been walking around it with no front clip. So, this thing's got a bent frame, pretty freaking bent. The more that I took off, the worse it got. The point to where the K-member on this thing is quite literally shifted and the wheelbase is off from the right to the left side. This thing is super so, yeah. This is one of those cars where naturally you would probably want to get a different shell and start over, but I'm already this far into it, and at this point, it's become one of the things where the only reason we haven't worked on it is we haven't had the time to take it to a frame machine. So, plus frame tables are super expensive. A lot of times they're up into the $150 to $200 an hour, and if you're on there all day, you're going to spend anywhere between $1,000 to $2,500 to get your car straightened. So, in a lot of cases, in cars like Mustangs like these, sometimes it's not even worth doing. So, obviously, I can go get a clean shell anywhere in Southern California for pretty cheap because I don't need any of the drivetrain, I don't need the chassis, I don't need any of the suspension. All I need is the body and shell of the car. But this one's already here, it's already torn down, there's no reason to get another one. So we are gonna fix this one regardless of the cost. So this is gonna be a pretty expensive build. That's what I've been saying constantly. You saw all the parts and pieces that were coming out for this thing between the 6-piston brakes, the Coyote, the T56, and the full cage that we're gonna be doing on this thing. So the rough game plan for you guys to understand is this is going to be more of a race car than it is a street car, at least the way that it's going to be built. I'm definitely 100% going to have a license plate on this car and drive it on the street, but we're doing a full tube front end. So when I say chassis table, we're going to go ahead and put this thing, after it gets back from the frame table, the frame machine to straighten it, we're going to build a table right here where the car is sitting, weld the car to that table, and I'm going to cut everything out of this car. The entire front end of the car, from the firewall forward, including the firewall and the floor, most of the floor structure will be cut out of this car. Because all this stuff is so ugly and smashed up anyways, if I'm going to spend all the time to put a bunch of nice parts in this, there's no reason to open the hood and see a bunch of destroyed bent metal. Even if it is straight, it's not straight. It doesn't look aesthetically pleasing whatsoever. And we've dabbled with the fab work on a bunch of other projects. The Bug we did a bunch of cool stuff with, and I really want to challenge myself to be able to do a actual, not necessarily full tube chassis, because there will still be a lot of stock orientated body underneath this. This is a unibody, so realistically, I'm going to be strengthening the undershell, but adding tin work to the floor, adding tube structure to the floor, tying it in because these cars twist and they're so flexible and crappy from the factory. The last thing I want is to stand on throttle and have the trunk pop open, because that's actually happened on this car and it used to be a big problem. Alright, so So what can you expect in the next couple of videos? So I still got a little bit more shop cleaning up to do between all the other cars and projects you've seen in here. The bullnose needs to come in here and get fixed. That's my shop truck. That's probably what's gonna tow this turd down and get a framing table to get straight. That's why we haven't taken the suspension, the axles, the glass, and the rest of the interior out, because there's really no point until, because it's gonna have to sit outside to go on a frame table anyways. So if it's any sort of crappy weather or anything like that, I don't want water in my car. So plan number one, get the shop truck finished. We just did the bug like you guys saw. Shop truck's gonna come in here. We gotta finish up the interior on that thing. And I've got some drivetrain issues. It seems to have a fuel issue or a fuel pressure issue, because under hard acceleration or any sort of general acceleration, the thing likes to break up really bad. So it's either got a fuel filter, a fuel pump, or a fuel pressure regulator that's taking a crap, because that's one of the few things I did not replace in the fuel system when we built it the first time. So shop truck's gonna come in here and get fixed. I'm gonna build a light mount and bumper for it, build a bug guard for it, and really just finish off that build, at least for right now. We will be doing a four-wheel drive conversion on that truck, as well as a bigger engine, whether we do a big Windsor or a diesel swap. Something along those lines is going to happen, because that thing can't tow hardly anything. It can barely tow this with no drivetrain. So definitely needs a bigger motor in that thing, because if it can't tow, it's pretty useless to me. So yeah, but V1 of that truck, we're restoring it. Got to get some glass in it, some new badges on it, get the thing tinted, finish up the interior, build a light mount for the front bumper, and just really finish off what's already there. So it's close. It's really close. It's probably 85-90% right now. We just got to tie in all the loose ends, get the AC working, the heater's already working, and just make what's there pretty and functional for what we're using it for. I have a brand new retro sound to throw in the thing, and a bunch of other little odds and ends to make that truck just perfect. So once that thing's done, we'll tow this down to the table, and we'll bring our Vic in here, because as you guys probably know, if you didn't watch my Vic video, or my white drift Crown Vic, the 2008 P71 manual that I have, I made one video on that, and I blew it up in the exact same video. So I have a notorious history of breaking engines, and that is no different. So that thing ended up bending a rod due to an injector getting stuck. So that needs a new engine, and I bought another engine. You could see it. It was on the other side of this car. That engine's junk. So the one that I bought has a broken rod as well. But all that stuff you will see in a future video. So I need to get a third engine for that car. Great, just what I need. So I gotta go get another 4.6, or I'm gonna be stealing a rod out of this to fix the rod in the car, because what ended up happening, injector stuck open, bent a rod. So either I need to put a rod in the motor that's in the car, or just put a whole new damn engine in the thing. And for the price of putting a rod in it, I can go get another 4.6 for 800 bucks, 1,000 bucks, or whatever, because every single bolt on those stupid motors is torque to yield, so you can't just pull them apart and put them back together like a regular Windsor you can. So someone like me that's built a ton of Windsors, I'm like, oh, I can just whip this thing apart, throw a rod in it, and big whoop. You'll spend $400 or $500 on just hardware for those stupid things. So I totally get why people just go to Coyotes, because you spend a little bit more, but you're gonna make so much more power, and the 2-valve platform is just really garbage. So in my opinion, if we're gonna do anything with that Vic, we're gonna leave that thing completely stock. It's already got a tuner in it. We're gonna put a better injector in it, and we're just gonna boost it if anything, and that is absolutely it. The shop truck, the Crown Vic, because the Crown Vic is my daily at the end of the day, so I do need to get that thing back up and running. And then we'll probably end up selling some cars, or at least something along those lines, because we've had a lot of projects we've done in the past, and there's 14 freaking cars right now. A lot you guys don't even know about, and it honestly is a little bit overwhelming for someone like me, who is the brains of this entire operation. I outsource all the merch, I run and pack and ship all the merch, I run the entire website, I do fulfill all the orders. I'm editing this video, at least that you're watching right now. I produce the content, I pay for the builds, I own all the cars, I work on all the cars. It just gets to be a lot. Even though I'm done with school now, I finally did graduate, and this is my full-time gig, I did want to be honest with you guys that this is a lot to take on. And I want to make sure the cash flow is actually coming in to support this, so that's why we do a lot of the merchandise. And it's not me just trying to ram this stuff down your throat. It actually does help keep this thing going. So you guys supporting me at 909speedcompany.com and just grabbing a sticker, or even something small like that, really does go a long way. And you guys, at the end of the day, if you don't want to buy merch, watch the videos and drop a like on the video, or comment down below and just increase the engagement, because it really does mean a lot. All right, well, thank you guys for coming to my TED Talk today, but I didn't want to finish off with the Galaxy. So the Galaxy has been in the background for the last 3 months. You guys haven't seen it. It's been in a couple different shops and a couple different spaces getting some paint work done. So I've been there in the entire process, and we're really, really close. We're on our last round of primer before sealer and base coat. So we're right there. So the next video that you do see with the Galaxy coming up in the next month is going to be its final color. And I will not show the car until it's in final color. So that's the one thing you can expect is in the next couple of months is when you do see the first Galaxy video in a while, it's going to be the car in final color. So I hope you guys are excited for that. So drop a like on this video if you did enjoy. Then we've got new transmission and a couple other things for the F100, which I guess I'll show right now. I've had this thing for a little while from the guys over at Silver Sport. So we've actually test fitted it in the truck already. I ended up having to dial indicate the bell housing and the scatter shield, so it came back out. It's about to go back in. So that will fix the transmission issue in my F100 where it never liked to go into second gear when you were drag racing it, and it had a bunch of different issues. So that's the key ticket to make this thing actually drivable. And then after that, I do want to do some carburetor adjustments on the thing and put my F100 on the dyno finally for the first time on the chassis dyno to see what it actually makes compared to what it did on the engine dyno. On the engine dyno, the thing made 507 horsepower at the crank on 91 octane. I want to pretty much run it on the exact same setup, tune the carburetor, tune the timing curve, and tune everything to where it's the best drivable setup for me to drive the thing around, because honestly, I haven't driven the F100 a lot because it just sucks to drive. We took it on power tour and it was pretty much borderline miserable the entire time because every stop I was messing with a carburetor or something along the lines of the drivetrain was just not happy, and I was constantly adjusting things the entire trip, and it just was not fun to drive. And yeah, shop truck, Ground Vic, Foxbody stuff, Galaxy stuff, and F100 stuff all coming up in the next month. So subscribe if you are new. We have a lot of cool stuff coming. Go grab some merchandise if you want to support me in the builds. And with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this update video. It's definitely a little bit talkative, but it's for a good reason to lay out what we're doing for the next couple months. And we are going to be taking the bug out and doing some fun stuff with that as well. So I hope you guys wanted to enjoy today's video. And that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video with the Foxbody. Later.